Anyway, we're going to be playing with the NQ mod over here, which was a no quitters mod. It was originally designed, I would say, mostly maybe as a sort of multiplayer rebalancing kind of thing. It doesn't change the gameplay dramatically. In the latter period of Civ 5 on the channel, we were mostly just playing with, well, I keep calling it like the community balance mod, but I guess it was renamed to Vox Populi at some point. That one changes the gameplay quite a bit more dramatically, and it's pretty cool. But I thought it might be worth playing with this. So we're almost, but not quite, playing vanilla. A couple of tweaks in some of the buildings, the units, some of the national abilities, that sort of thing, but not too dramatically varied. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe Silas, but I think this is going to be okay. So the only thing I'm going to do, because I don't know how much Civ 5 we're going to be playing, all I want to do is I want to make sure Catherine's in here. Because Catherine, my love, she's got to make an appearance in this game, right? Everything else has been set to standard rules, basically. I got the quick combat movement on, of course, because I'm impatient. But I think we're going to go with that and see how it goes. We get our first tip in today. Who dat? City Swimmer. Hey, thank you very much. Hey, Quill, greetings from Finland. Just got into live streams, but I've watched all your Civ 6 videos on YouTube. So hooked already. Keep up the good work and never get bored of playing. I assure you, that is very unlikely to happen. Thank you very much, City Swimmer, and thank you very much, Kixian. Love your YouTube vids. Glad I could catch you live. An American hello from England. That sounds like you got a bit of a story there. That's cool. Bum, 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 bum,
Your
bum,
people
bum.
kneel before you, exalted King Pakal the Great, favored son of the gods, and shield
I think I was
of the
tabbed out,
citizens
so it
of
wasn't doing the
Formulating.
audio.
After years of strife at the hands of your neighboring rivals, you struck back at the enemies of your people.
And yes, you're right. I have to get
sacrificing
Chichen
leaders
Itza in
retribution
Chichen Itza.
for the insults dealt to your predecessors. The glory of Palenque was restored only by the guidance afforded
Yeah,
by
sorry
your
with the reverbs, because I had my local sounds quite high, so you were
orchestrated
hearing
vast
both.
reconstruction efforts within the city, creating some of the greatest monuments and architecture your people and the world have ever known.
I know, Sean Bean's pretty good, but the thing I gotta say, right from, like, you know, Civ 4 on, I guess you could say, they've done pretty good voice stuff in Civ. I mean, Leonard Nimoy, like, they've done a good job with it.
Kingdom to its greatest heights? Will you build new monuments to forever enshrine the memories of your people? Can you build a civilization that will stand the test of time?
Hey Fang, thank you very much. Fang727. Always watch your streams when I have bad days, so I want to support. Here's for all the amazing videos you do. Thank you. And also chocolate for the Monty. For Montezuma maybe. Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks very much, Fag. And you know what? I often have bad days too, and you know what helps me on my bad days? Streaming. It's actually really wonderful. Gets me hyped. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. So, as the Maya are pretty strong. There's two reasons they're relatively strong. The first reason is their unique building, the pyramid, not the pyramids. Although maybe we should build those too. We'll see if we end up going Liberty or Tradition. The pyramid is a replacement for the shrine. And in addition to giving us faith, it also gives us a little bit of science. This is obviously very strong. They also have a unique unit called the Atlatlist, which is hard to say. It's, as far as I know, I think it's exactly the same as an archer. Oh, it's cheaper as well, but I think it has all the same combat stats as an archer. The difference is that we get to start with this immediately. We can build archers basically from turn one, which is quite neat. Now, if you want to do a rush or something like that, it is quite potent. I don't think we're going to be looking to rush anyone or, you know, to just like jump onto a city-state or something like that. But it is an option. What it means, we can delay researching archery for a little bit longer and not have to worry about getting obliterated. But the other really powerful part of the Mayan Empire is this long count bonus, where so every 394 years on epic speed, I don't know how many turns it's going to represent because it's counted oddly, but we get to choose a great person. We can't choose the great person more than once, so almost certainly we'll choose a great scientist first, probably we'll choose a great engineer second, and so on and so forth. So, we'll see how we go. How do we like our start? It's really not the greatest. We've got... We'll have at least 3 hills in range at some point. We do have Sheep Hill at first. It's going to be not a bad tile. The dies are really not too terribly strong. This is a pretty weak tile to work. I mean, it's nice to have a luxury, but it's a pretty weak tile to work. Same thing with the pearls. It just adds some extra gold to this tile. I mean, what you're looking for is extra food, extra production, which is really what would be the ideal over here. Yeah, I love it. I love the chat. Always like this. Someone says good start. Immediately afterwards, someone says sad start. Yeah. Pearls are poopy. Kind of poop start. I agree. Yeah, it's a pretty... You want scientists to be as late as possible? No, well, Joran, if you're going to light bulb your scientists, you want to use them as late as possible. But if you want to put down an academy, you want them as early as possible. I'm not super impressed by the start, but one of the things to consider is we might want to settle on the dies. And the reason I say this is because while the die will always be a weak tile to work, if we settle on it, then we will get the 2 gold added to our base tile production. It means we lose 1 turn of production, obviously, because we have to move our settler. But we could settle on the dies. One of the things that's interesting about NQ mod that I discovered just a couple of days ago was, so normally settling on a hill is quite nice because you get an extra base production. Well, they made it so when you settle on flat land, it will give you an extra food. So we will grow a little faster if we settle on flat. We'll produce better if we settle on a hill, although we're not going to settle on a sheep hill. And yeah, we will scout first. The question, therefore, is what direction. I think if we're going to consider maybe settling on the die, I'm going to scout to the east and see what the deal is. It means we won't be able to work... If we settle on the die, we won't be able to work the sheep right away, but that's okay. We can still work the stone, which is going to be okay. All right, we got bananas over here. I mean, we would have gotten the bananas anyway, although we'll get them a little sooner. I think I like going east. The other thing, well, no matter what, we'd be in 2 tiles of the mountain, although I don't know if that's as important here, because the observatories work a little bit different. I think I'm going to go settle 1 to the... If we're going to keep the start, we could always just re-roll if people want. Perfectly fine. But if we settle to the right, we'll get the gold right away, so we'll actually be financially pretty good. We get the bananas a little bit sooner. We've got access to the lake for faster growth, too. I mean, you can't improve it, so yeah. Although, I think when we build a lighthouse, I think there was, like, you can't build a lighthouse if you're just adjacent to a lake. But, well, most people want rerolls? I'm actually kind of surprised, but yeah, chat is overwhelming. They want a reroll. Maybe they want us to reroll until we start on a desert for Petra.
Your people kneel before you.
Or we get salt. I can't believe people want... I mean, I agree. It's not a very strong start. But usually, like, chat is quite strict. No, of course we'll never reroll, but all right, let's do it.
Strife at the hands of your neighboring rivals.
That's a lot of jungle. This is a worse start. I'm going to move my my warrior. I'll move him onto this hill. This is such a worse start. Well, if we're rerolling... Okay, I'm not going to spend forever rerolling. I was going to keep that last start. But if we're going to reroll that one, we're going to reroll this, because give me a break. Did have chocolate, though. Petra, can't possibly... You guys want me to reroll until we get goddamn desert so we can Petra. Well, maybe I should have just chosen different people. Again, not particularly strong. What have you done? Why? Oh my god. Okay. Canal City Height. I think we'll just roll the 0. I think we'll just keep this one. This is not better than our first one or anything like that. It's definitely better than the last one. And it's going to be okay. I think we'll settle on the hill. Again, I kind of like the change in NQ mod, where settling on flat land is no longer strictly worse than settling on a hill. I think hill settles are still going to be better because of the extra production's probably a little bit better. No fresh water. I know, it's like, in Civ 6, you'd be like, no fresh water. Oh my god, what about my housing? Now, as far as I recall, settling on a river in 5 is still nice. First of all, it gives you access to the watermill. And secondly, I think you get bonus to your trade route money if you're on a river. No, they're not desert hills. They are plains hills. So we'll settle in place. No mountain, no salt, reroll. Although, that's a desert hill. I don't think there'd be enough to Petra in our capital, but if people... We can look into it. Maybe Petring over here. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to settle in place. Done. Oh, I'll have to bring up my sublist so that we can rename the cities. All right, so choose production. Let's see. Most likely, we're going to want to start with at least one scout. The question we will have to ask of ourselves when we finish the first scout is, are we going to go tradition or are we going to go liberty as our opener? Because in tradition, first of all, when you adopt it, you get 3 culture right away, which makes it a little less critical to get that early monument. And then when you get legalism, you get a free culture building your first 4 cities, so that will build us a monument automatically. As such, if we go tradition, I would suggest that we can, and while not going with an early monument slows down when we acquire this, I say that if we go tradition, we don't need to build a monument. We can spend those hammers on something more desirable. However, if we go liberty, while we do get 1 culture from adopting it, that's about it, and I think we're going to be forced to build the monument. So the question is, if we end up going tradition, I think we go something like scout into probably building our first pyramid over here. I'm going to start with pottery right away, get the pyramid, basically the shrine, so that we can start pumping out the faith, so we can get an early pantheon, maybe found a religion, I don't know, but getting the early pantheon will be quite important, and it starts to roll a little bit of science. So something like scout pyramid would be quite nice. If we end up going liberty, I think we have to go maybe scout monument pyramid, something of that nature. I'm sure the chat is full of opinions. Yeah, I've got all the DLC, certainly. Are we going tall and wide is an excellent question. So we're gonna have to find out a little bit more about what's what. I guess I'm gonna swing the warrior around sort of counterclockwise over here to eventually see what's going on in the desert hills. But let's go a little further north first, just to see what's nearby. No resources over here by the river. It's a little disappointing. Yeah, cool, man. I saw that. I'm just going to cross here, because I was going to say, it looked like this was a coast. So I don't want to get stuck there. The weird thing is, when you go back from 6 to 5, is you have to rewire your pathfinding AI. Because in Civ 6, if I move, let's say I move here, in Civ 6, I wouldn't be able to enter the forest. But in 5, you can. So it's like, this whole thing. I feel like for the sake of completeness, I'm going to go ahead and do this just in case there's any more fish or anything, because that would really inform the next city placement, but there isn't. So yeah, I'm going to try to swing around this way. Actually, we're going to get the scout done relatively quick. Before that happens, let's remember to actually, we're going to lock in production focus, and yeah, keep working this. So this is a bit of a trick that you can do in Civ 5. I don't remember if it applies in Civ 6 or not. And I'm usually too lazy / worried that I'm going to F things up to do this forever, but certainly you want to work food-rich tiles early on to get your city to grow. And the default focus will generally do that, or you can go food focus. The thing is, the way your city growth... Ooh, we got another tip in. The way your city growth is processed at the end of your turn, first you gain your food, and then you gain the production, which means you can gain enough food for your city to grow, get +1 pop, and then it counts the production. So you really want, when your city to grow, that it automatically places that new citizen on a hammer tile, so that you will take advantage of the hammers right away. It's only going to be worth 1 or 2 extra hammers every time the city grows. So in the long term, again, when the city sort of matures and the game gets a little later, I don't micro it that much, which is one of the reasons I don't tend to play on deity. But in the long term, it's going to earn you anywhere from an extra 10 to maybe even 20 hammers, depending on exactly how it works out. It's not much, but it's something. So we'll see what we can do to do that. And you guys will have to remind me if like a city grows or we gain a new tile, and I'm going to have to like retoggle what tiles are being worked, and so on and so forth. So we'll swing it back around this way. That's going to be good. Yeah, the scout's definitely going to go into the desert. Civ 5 Petra hype. Could happen. Could happen. It depends. The question will be how many desert hills are there. Because I've always said the Petra, all it mostly does is turn desert tiles into acceptable tiles, but they still can't be improved the same way, so it's really not that exciting. This map is also not that exciting. Okay, well, we're clearly in a dead end this way. I was going to say, watch us be on an island. It shouldn't put us on an island in continents, but there's clearly a choke point over here. Makes me worried there's not going to be a lot of desert tiles. There's a possibility that there's literally just the 2. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make the call here that I think we're going tradition. Because the big deal, Liberty is quite nice for fast expansion. Because if you have a lot of cities, the +1 production in every city is quite nice. You get half-price settler, you get a free settler, you get a free worker, and you get improved production rates. Yes, Palenque does need the name. I had it loading up. I'll try to remember that in a second. So Liberty's quite good for going wider and expanding faster. But overall, tradition tends to be stronger. And there's a couple of reasons for it. Mostly, it saves you a lot of production. For your first 4 cities, and mostly in the early game, which is the critical part of the game, 4 cities is more or less tend to be how many you're going to get. So we don't have to build a monument in any of our first buildings. We won't have to build walls in any of our first cities, for 4 cities. And when we complete this, it'll also give us a free aqueduct in the first 4 cities. And I believe it might even do that before we have the tech. So it speeds that along quite nice. It makes your capital a lot bigger. It does give us a bonus to building early game wonders. And it gives us a fair amount of happiness. Tradition makes your cities a lot stronger. Liberty helps you get a few more, but tradition by far makes your city stronger, and saves you a lot of hammers for other things. And also, when you complete it, you gain the ability to faith by great engineers later, which is quite nice. On the other hand, completing Liberty gives you 1 great person of your choice, which is also pretty good. But I feel like we're not going to have... Because we don't have a big choice of expansion over this way, I suspect that we're going to be limited in our pure number of cities. As such, I suspect we're going to go tradition, which means I'm not going to start a monument right away, because we'll get 3 free culture per turn as soon as we open tradition, and then we'll get a free monument later on. As such, well, I was going to build a second scout, but now I'm thinking there's not going to be that much room to scout. Do we just go and get a very early worker? Let's take a look at the tips. We'll rename the city, and then chat will catch up and let me know what they think. We got a couple of tips in from Mike123 Mike. Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you for the unintentional birthday stream. Well, happy birthday. And then Mike said, oops, I meant to donate 25 last time. Let's have some more. Thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for your support. Cheers. Nepe, or Nefe, perhaps. Thank you very much as well. First time catching a stream, but watch a lot of your vids on YouTube. Want to donate to the Petra and Chocolate Fund. Oh my god, if I renamed it to that. Whoo! Jay Lee, thank you very much as well. Hello from Singapore, Quill. Wow. Must be like 2 in the morning there. Enjoy your streams tremendously, and I always look forward to your videos. Here's some chocolate contribution. Thank you very much, Jay Lee. Appreciate it. Atlatlis worker. Now, the thing is, I'm not sure what we're going to do with the Atlatlis. If this were Civ 6, and the crazy-ass barbarians of Civ 6 were a possibility, yeah, we'd need our Atlas, Slinger, something or other. I think we go early worker. Now, this is going to make our timing on certain things a little bit awkward, because at first, the only thing the worker will be able to improve is the wheat. And it won't be able to improve the dyes until it can also clear forest, because to build a plantation, you have to chop the woods. You could build a camp, though. So with that, after pottery, we'd have to go all the way up to trapping. I guess you could stay busy by building a farm over here. And certainly we'll want a mine over here as well. We could unlock early mining as well. I guess one of the advantages to opening early mining is we do have the ability to start chopping down forest to accelerate our growth. And that might be the thing. We might go pottery into mining, because we can farm this, maybe put a dummy farm here and or mine that, which is going to be fine. And then we can chop, say, this wood dye tile to rush some production and then move forward. Hill to the northwest is a good place for the city. Yeah, I wish... one of the things that always annoyed me in Civ 5 is there was no built-in map pin function, which is too bad. But yeah. Mining to masonry would be nice too, so we can get the marble. And that's true. Yeah, after we unlock mining, we can get masonry, get a luxury up on top. What is this? It's Nordics! Hey, thank you very much, Nordics! My 3-year subscription anniversary. Keep it up cool. Well, thank you very much! Wow, 3 years. That is crazy good. Appreciate it muchly. Now, there is a chance the barbarians will spawn back here, and we could keep the warrior back here, but I think we're probably going to have to contribute to some amount of scouting. So let's move in.
We are pleased to meet you.
How close is England to me? How boxed in am I going to be? There's no room behind me. And we've met England already. Now, we're going to have to kill her before she gets to longbows.
Go on.
Let's trade embassies. Yeah, I don't want to pay her for the embassy, but I want to know exactly where her capital is. Okay, there's a bit more room than expected. It's not quite so dire. It'd be great if there was a one tile wide tile, you know what I mean, so that we can build a canal city over here. Now, if this were Civ 4, you could put a city here and then like a fort across here, and then ships could actually get through. Arknster. Thank you very much for the tip. Hey, Quill, been watching your YouTube channel for a while. It's my first time watching you stream live. It's a small contribution for hours of fun with Quill. Well, thank you very much. One city challenge time. Yeah, so we've got a little bit more room than that. There's actually a pretty decent city spot. So I got bad news for you guys. Ain't gonna be no Petra. If we want Petra, we're gonna have to capture it from someone else. Because, like, what? We're not building a Petra for that. So, big ridge of mountains over here, which means we could, we probably want to get out here quite early, capture this and sort of box this in, and then maybe backfill. What does the north look like? So you're about to grow. We've got you locked in. That's fine. Yeah, we'll still go for the early worker. I think that's A-okay. Finding goody huts is going to be nigh impossible. So, again, I'm happy I didn't go for the second scout because it wouldn't have been useful here. Normally, I think on a tradition start, I'd be quite happy going dual scout. This is fine, because there's no way you're that close to me, right? Again, I'm going to happily trade embassies. You can also sell embassies, like, oh, it lets the AI know where your city knows. Who cares? They'll be able to find it. Ah, I still need to rename the city. Thank you very much. Yeah. What? How'd you get up here so fast? Man, that is an early-ass scout. Rename. Where's my subscriber list? Right over there. And, oh, did I not? There we go. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I had this set up to be randomized. So, randomized. TV Daredevil is going to be the name of our capital. Now, I mean, it's all lowercase. I don't know if I should just, like, go with the username as is, or should we space it out or capitalize things? I guess I'll just go with that. I guess Civ auto-capitalizes everything. There. TV Daredevil. Wow, there is some bad kerning. Because this looks more like TVDA Red Evil. It's like the R and the E and the D are too close together, and there's too much of a gap between the A and the R. Just some bad kerning there. Well, let's keep snooping around. So who dis? Hello, Hong Kong. Tell you what, let's not abuse the worker steal mechanic, which is amazing, but a little bit silly. So, we'll pledge to protect you. Hopefully no one decides to bully you. I think... Oh, no, there is a path over here. Alright, attacking into England would be quite tricky, because it's a long trip, but yeah, we have to settle down here. Thank you very much for reminding me to move my goddamn citizen on growth. See, this is why, like, why the production focus trick is really good, but I'm bad about, like, remembering the growth in time. That and when there's, like, a tile pop. We don't have enough money to buy a tile, because otherwise it'd be great to start working the marble right away. I mean, there's no production, but... Yeah, no, I guess I'd work this first. When we get to 3 pop, that's really what we want. How far are we from growth? 8, and it should go to the marble, so that'll be okay. 5 turns to this. Again, we're really hoping no barbs spawn back there, but they can. They can spawn anywhere in the fog of war. And I'll want to move a unit back there to sort of fog bust at some point, but the scout's definitely going to keep moving forward. I'm curious to see if that's a path over there. It's not a terrible spot for a city. I should check to see if there's something in there. Some interesting possibilities. I'm from Malaysia, and now it's 2 a.m. Yeah, yeah. Some people really stay up late to watch this. I think I want to see a little closer to England's territory, because we'll be able to see if they settle cities at that point. I might want to just leave my warrior here to block this path. Marble will be nice because it will give us a boost to building wonders. There's our pyramid unlocked. I really feel like I need to bring my warrior back, though, especially with an early worker. I don't want it to be harassed by barbarians. I don't care to settle over here. There might be a goody hut, but most likely England's already checked it out. We will want to block this, but I'm going to need a unit back home, I feel like. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the warrior and just get him to chill out over here, and we'll see what's what. You can just... Yes, we'll get it. We'll get at least one goody hut, you guys. Bet you England will take the city-state. Maybe. What you give me?